I'm Dr. Abiodun Salawu. I'm a media academic, in Nigeria. I head the Department of Communication and Media Studies at the Ajayi Crother University, in Oyo, Nigeria.
You are okay. You are a journalist. You are a professor. How can you compare citizen journalism and traditional journalism?
Well, there is, I believe that there is a difference. Even though I believe that a citizen journalist can complement the work of a traditional journalist, can complement the work of a professional journalist. But there is a difference in the sense that the professional journalist, practices journalism, on a daily basis. I also want to believe that a professional journalist, has had some training, in journalism, not just on how to gather stories and write stories, but also on the laws and ethics, that guide, his profession, that guide what he practices. So he knows, it is expected that a professional journalist, knows, what to write about and what not to write about, knows his limits in the law and all that. And again, a traditional journalist, belongs, is answerable to a press council, what we call a press council that serves as an ombudsman. I believe that every country has a press council. In Nigeria, we have a council called Nigerian Press Council. Even though a professional journalist, may do something wrong, but the council can call him to order. The council, can sanction him, for doing something that is unethical, doing something that is unprofessional. And then again, that in professional journalism, there's a line of gatekeeping. When a reporter brings, his story, he cannot just, put the story in the newspaper like that. He has to submit the story to the news editor or the features editor or what have you. The editor, the editor of the newspaper itself, is also supposed to see it. Whether it's a broadcast or print media, it's also supposed to have seen the story before, it goes public. So these are gatekeeping. It's expected that in this process, if there's going to be any problem with the story, that is to be published to the public or to be broadcast, these gatekeepers, must have done something about it. These are basic differences.
Yeah, what do you think about citizen? Everybody is citizen. What the meaning for you of this word citizen? Journalism, citizen journalism.
You have said it, everybody says citizen, even a journalist is citizen.
Yeah.
It means that even the professional journalist can also, practice citizen journalism. But then the idea of citizen journalism, is the act of creating, gathering, and disseminating information. Creating, gathering, analyzing, and disseminating information, and it involves everyone. In citizen journalism, we don't have passive audience. The audience, also transpolate, to what we can to the sender of the message. We do have a passive audience in the sense that the audience can also create messages. You understand? Why they receive messages from other sources, they can also create. Unlike before now, when the people who will create messages that whom we will depend on for our information will be the professional journalists. The citizens, the members of the public can also be involved, in the creation of messages, in the gathering of information, especially as it affects issues in their environment, issues in their community. They serve, also as watchdogs, for their society, for their environment. So, as I said, even a journalist, is a citizen journalist.
Yeah. Do you think that this kind of journalism has some impact on traditional journalism?
Yeah, it has, because I said that I recognize the fact that citizen journalism can play a complementary role, on traditional journalism. For instance, I would like a situation whereby citizen journalism, will serve to cross-check facts, given by the traditional journalist. Cross-check the fact, is this fact, given by this journalist, is it right, is it accurate? If it's not, point to the journalist that this is not right, and things like that, and give him the fact. Because the journalist cannot claim monopoly of knowledge. you understand? So members of the public can also have information both, so they can cross-check facts of the journalists and call the journalists to order that what you have said, is not actually right. And again, journalists, cannot be everywhere, but members of the public are all over the place. So if anything happens, members of the public can inform the professional journalist or a media organization about what is happening in their own environment, about what is happening in their own organization, so that the professional journalists, can write about it, can report it, and make it public. So in a way, the two can complement each other.
Traditional journalism is the fourth power. Where to set citizen journalism?
Well, I've read it in literature that we call them fifth estate of the realm.
Do you agree with that?
Well, that's in a way, because it's a parliament. It's a parliament, so we can call them fifth estate. We talk of the first estate as the executive, the second as the legislature, the third as the judiciary, the fourth as the press. So I want to believe that citizens, they are also a parliament. They also constitute a parliament, so well, fine. So we can call them the fifth estate of the realm.